How can it be live if I'm not even connected to it? Okay. We'll see how we go this time. It's possible that it's my phone. There's problems with that hotspot. Okay. See how we go with this. If not, well, there's not much I can do about it. Good afternoon. This time I'm hoping this is it. If not, I will get upset, but there's not much I can do. Yeah. So I am back, trying to get this thing to work. Yeah, I had a few days off. I have been working really hard. Yeah, I had to get things sorted. Apologies for that. Okay, it's the hotspot. I reckon I need to just reset the hotspot altogether, like turn it all off, turn it back on. Anyway, I'm gonna keep this live in case it cuts off. The reason I was not live for a while, yeah, I have been busy, extremely busy. Didn't feel too good either. But yeah, I'm back. I've been working in this insurance company, and they did put a lot of stuff on me, but I'm done with that now. Yeah, well, but I picked up another job. Not picked up another job, not that I... Anyway, it doesn't matter. We did it like maybe 10 years ago. We've relocated now. The whole computer panel, C-bus, and all this automated stuff from the outside of the house, because the house was right on the water, so it was getting a lot of salt inside the electronic equipment, which was installed by others, and I'm not blaming them, because they wouldn't know. How would they know that get so salty there that it would start damaging the equipment. So we had to relocate the whole panel inside the garage area. It's a massive job because obviously the people were living there at the time, and minimum, sort of interruption to their lives. It was a big house, massive, lots of, it's probably something around, I don't know, 10 bedrooms house. So a lot of automated stuff, integrated windows and blinds and so on and so on. Also, yes, C-bus equipment, and so we originally relocated the house. It's actually quite famous, but I'm not gonna say name. But he ended up adding another floor on top, building another couple of bedrooms on top of his house, and he used few companies obviously must have been part of the contracts he went in with, like builder had his own electrician or something like that. So it's a big mess. There's like 5 different companies involved. So he just wants me to sort it all out. So I gotta go in there, and it's a big mess. He's got like external windows, internal windows, blinds, and all these unit systems, and try to integrate all that into the C-bus. Big mess. Poland and America will come on different times and sleep. But I'm just letting you know, I'm still here. Still alive from YouTube. I was busy at work. Committed to a few things. Friend, that was insurance. Rob, the house on fire, that sort of stuff, like what's my independent opinion on them. So some of them comes down to equipment. I can't use the words cheap shit. Sometimes it pisses me off, and I will use those terms. A piece of shit. And it lasts a couple of years, and then it's cheap. There's obviously a reason because it's cheap. Anyway, smart homes becoming a very everybody will have to have some sort of a smart system installed in the house now. But it's different from what I'm used to. I wouldn't call it old school, but I would call something which I've installed in 1992 still working. Still working. You can replace it with something else. Change the program. And it's still fine. Yet the new stuff is just wirelessly connected, and there's not much you can do when things go wrong. Anyway, besides the point, I'm not saying this is better than that or anything like that, but I have been in this game. Well, I've been working on that since 1987 is when I was first introduced to it. But I've been in the business since 2000, installing smart systems. So I do have a bit of knowledge. what works long term, what works quick if you just want to sell the house. They call it a smart home. All those ways of connecting that as well. Anyway, let's just don't know why I started talking about that, but anyway, I have. Yeah, C-Bus automated systems. In Europe they call it Schneider systems. Same thing. Some coffee places here, but it's too early for me. I think I might just go to Clovelly. I don't know, I haven't tasted this coffee. When I come back here. Oh, sorry, you guys are watching me instead. I forgot. I'll swap the cameras in a minute. Let me just stop so you know where I am. I'll rotate the cameras like that. Anyway, let me just swap the camera. What I do, I'll put that camera away. That's the one which did not work. I don't know if that was caused because of that or because of I'll put that on there anyway. Okay, we're in La Perouse, but we're gonna go to Clovelly. I've tasted the coffee at Clovelly, it's really good. I'm not too sure about this one here, but I'll come back to this one. Alright, so we go to Clovelly. The time now is 1:30. The live streaming happens to be okay. And we're gonna go to Clovelly. I'm gonna have a cup of coffee. Okay, it seems to be working fine now. I think it had something to do with the hotspot. Oh, there's a boat parked there. I usually go down there. It looks like a pretty serious fishing boat. come back here. Anyway, what I was saying about the CBus smart systems. Yeah, for long-term install, well, I reckon it's still the best. All the new stuff, the wireless, I'll be a little bit concerned. I mean, it's okay if you live in your own house and you kind of like to integrate, you know, I like to call it a smart home, and, you know, add a few things onto your mobile phone. But if you're looking at long-term, big project, it has to be CBus. Or Dynalite systems aren't too bad. Maybe Crestron systems. They'll last forever. Okay, I have installed it. As I said, my first one was 1992. I used to work for Davy Jones retail shop. I mean, I was an electrician working for an electrical company who looked after the sites, all the shops and stuff. Yeah, and the prices of electricity started going up, so obviously they started investing more and more control of electrical usage. Yeah, and we ended up, I was part of the team involved. Originally we went with phone lighting control, which originally were fire emergency lighting software, and then they tried to take over that as well, but that didn't work. And so the whole Australia ended up, we ended up connecting the whole Australia, every single shop, 56 shops or something, to one, to the same network. So we were able to control pretty much the whole Australia. We split it in the loads into cleaners, 24-hour cleaners, general section, and display sections. We're talking about thousands and thousands of switchboards all hooked up to one. Anyway, it's eventually, I don't even know if it ended up being like absolutely every single one, because of the time differences everywhere, and the logistics of it might have been a little bit hard. Some people say CBus is too expensive. I agree, it is too expensive. But you know what? Like, all the government buildings are still using it. Every single, they use externally light level sensors and all the external lighting and all that sort of stuff. So they are using it. There's a reason why. Because once it's installed, it's there. It's done. Actually, my first project, early 2000, was for an architect, and she still got it. She still got that installed, and you know, obviously, what sort of limitations you would have? The only limitations you would have, that maybe the key inputs, the switches and they're kind of the same. You have to sort of your mobile phones and iPads, iPhones, or whatever phones. Good or bad, I'm not sure. Yeah, they all have CBus installed, and they still do the CBus installations. I think the advantage they have over Dynalite and all the other ones, it's because they open up to all the to all the electricians out there, whoever wanted to join the part of the maintenance program or installation program, they were able to. I Yeah, Dynaline there's only one telephone number you have to call if you go on a job site and there's a Dynaline installed. There's only one number to call, and that's monopole. I don't like it. It's not right, I don't think. See, but you can get anyone involved. There's a lot of electricians with a basic knowledge of programming, but it's enough to repair things, to do basic changes. Mind you, the project I'm on now, it's the owner obviously has got some bit of knowledge in IT. He ended up like a bit of my fault, I think, because I showed him how about 10 years ago, when he started mucking around himself, and he's made a big mess out of it all. So he was getting his electricians to do bits, and he was programming them himself. On a small thing it's fine, but when things grow, get bigger and bigger, the programming becomes more and more difficult. Yeah, some people ask me, when would you should I install a smart system? Well, number one, when I was young, I might have said something different, but now, unless you got money, don't do it, because for that sort of money you can do a kitchen or something like that. Well, more than that, probably kitchen and 2 bathrooms for the equipment cost of the smart system. So unless you're prepared to spend money like that on that sort of stuff, don't do it. Obviously you do it when the house is with $20 million, $30 million. You're not going to be installing $50,000 electrical installation. You need to do at least the basic setup of smart system. Architects love it. One of the reasons is the look of the key inputs. I call them key inputs. That's what the proper name for them is. The switches on the wall, some of them like a little display screen, endless. You can program it, make it whatever, from doorbell to blind controller to emergencies button and fire alarm or burglar alarm button to a dimmer. You can program whatever you want it to be. It's endless. So that's the reason why. Second reason is if you're building something and 3 stories high, jetty at the front, at the bottom, sensors all over. You don't really know how you're going to program, how you're going to design the electrical install. You don't really know. It's hard to say. At the main door, I'm going to put a switch which will turn the lights off at the jetty. You just don't know at the time. But when you have a smart system installed, then you can do that later. You can go back to it and you can do it then. Every switch you can program after. You can program it to be, to turn some lights off. You can put them on a timer. I can program it to be a timer. It's night switch where you turn on something and slowly will shut the whole house down. Excuse me. No, it's fantastic when it comes to that. And obviously, well, if you have a bathroom where you're installing, where you have an external blind, for example, you have fan, you have heated towel rail, you have floor heat, you have lights under bench lights, you have it's beautiful. see what Clavel is like. And you have, you know, so bathroom itself has got, floor heat, heated towel rail, fan, 2 sets of lights. Let's say it's a big bathroom. What else? Underbench lights, heated towel. There are like six things, you know, on the wall. So if you, it's what, you're gonna have 6 different switches on the wall? No, you integrate everything into one. You integrate everything into one nice switch on the wall, and you program that switch to be. You add dimming to it, so you're dimming up and down, dimmer. So there's another button if you do conventional wiring. No, you do it all in a smart system. And then you can add it to your phone as well, so if you know, whatever, sitting on the toilet, forgot to do something, turn the fan turn the fan on, but you're on the phone. Obviously, everyone's on the phone these days, even in the bathroom. I can't go to the bathroom without the phone. I think a lot of other people are the same. So you install smart system. But every time I did smart installation, every time, people just basically run out of money, you know, in a way of like you know, they're not happy because they're realizing that they should have spent money on a new whatever, you know, new bathroom or bigger bathroom or something like that. It's expensive exercise. Don't do it unless you got money. The biggest installations I've ever done was $500,000, and that's like the completion of the project was roughly around 2017, maybe. It's 2017, somewhere there. 2017, and then obviously it's ongoing things, you know, things change, maintenance, you know, alterations, they want some more to change it. It's like endless. And the costs are, you know, not cheap. Yeah, my fees would be somewhere around $100 to $125 an hour. You know, I won't go anywhere under 4 hours. I kind of, you know, semi-retired. I don't really. I'm tempted sometimes to buy a house and do another reno, but something else. But no way. I don't want to spend the rest of my life renovating beautiful houses like that. You know how much maintenance it is, how much money they have to. How much it costs? It's a fortune. I used to do all the maintenance myself. One of my clients there, I haven't seen him for ages. It's another one of my clients. I know they're selling the house. Of course. The what's his name is working fine. No problem. It must have been my uploads. I don't know what to do with this. Bluetooth. not Bluetooth, hotspot, reset it. No, but this is, doesn't matter. Whatever, it's working fine. Dog park. Yeah, the smart systems, when I started installing them, there was a big debate, or not debate, is that how you say it? I'm not sure. Because what they originally had was electricians installing, and then they had programmers programming the switches. But the programmers, most of them weren't qualified electricians. So the problem with that was, you all of a sudden had a TV salesman or whatever because the programming is not like, the latest IT programmers have to have. But they would use a, TV sales rep to program the electrical components. And when there's obviously some issues, some accidents happen, things do happen. They couldn't. Who is there to blame? The Sparky said, "I didn't do that. I've installed the cabling, but I didn't program it to work. A million times a second." Or I can't remember exactly what was the argument about, but there was some incidents like that, and they didn't know who to blame. So then they said, "Oh no, the TV sales rep can't be programming electrical components," which is. Makes sense, yeah. Unless you qualify, you can't. Well, there's all these things happening with electricians installing. The insurance don't cover. There's a reason for all those licenses we pay as electricians, so we're covered by some sort of insurances and stuff. I think I got the thing turned off, the filter, but it's okay. I don't mind. I'll just talk. What was I saying? It's like driving a car. Yeah, you have a registered car. There isn't inside the registration we pay for something called green slip, and the green slip is there to cover your insurances for if you cause a accident and you actually kill someone. That's what the green slip is for. So if the car's not registered, you're not covered by any insurance. Same for electricians. If you don't have an electrical license and you do some installation which isn't really, you should not do it, then you're gonna have problems. Anyway, I remember building a house. I remember doing some extension, building a part of my house, and I was got carried away a bit. I wasn't waiting for my certifier. I started sort of digging holes and stuff. They want to be there first, and then eventually he came on board, but he said, I missed this one, and all of a sudden he got cancer. He was sick. He got sick. He disappeared for like 3 years. I couldn't do anything until he came back, sort of. He had a prostate, obviously came out of it, no problem. But he disappeared for like 3, 4, 5 years, and I couldn't get certificates until he was back, because no one else would certify. Same for installations. Everything you do, someone needs to certify it these days. It's not like you can build anything without a certificate. The house will be valued at zero, or just the land, no matter what you're going to build on it. If there's no certificate on it, anyway, the world has changed. I'm kind of semi-retired now, but don't know. Who knows what I'm gonna do next year. At the moment I'm enjoying myself being a YouTuber. Very close to be monetized. I think I might even be next week or two. Thanks for you guys watching me riding bikes, which did most of the watching time I needed. Yeah, it'll be interesting. I'll be very interested to know. I had businesses since 2000, all different types. Electrical, obviously, most of them. But I'll see how much money you can actually make on YouTube. And I'll post this like an average Joe. There's something people like about it. I think it's because I'm 55, you know. I kind of, whatever I say, people listen. Obviously, except my wife and my kids. But somehow I get, you know, looking at the comments and the viewing on YouTube. I have lived for a while, you know. I'm 55. I guess what can a young 20-year-old YouTuber tell me? What's good or bad, or what's, like, I wouldn't bother listening to a kid telling me, you know, get yourself this or get yourself that. Obviously he doesn't have the life experience, so maybe that's why. But yeah. Yeah, we'll see. It'll be interesting. Very interesting. Smart systems. Yeah, I might get back into that, but this house I'm gonna do, I can see it already. I need to fix up all this mess. And we left it such a beautiful, one of my guys who used to work for me, with me, you know, I got it with me. He wasn't working for me. It was, he did such a good job on that house. Every single cable was, it's like, looked like magic. Every single connection was tested, triple tested. Yeah. No problem, my friend. No problem. Do what you gotta do. Yeah. So now I have to fix it all up now. Actually, I might record some of it. Interesting. I'm sure he won't mind, the client. I won't show his house. I'll just show the electrical components. Yes, I might do that. Then I don't focus on a job. Anyway, I'm at Clough Valley now. My favorite spot, I call it. Oh yes, that is rough. Okay, I'm gonna go for a walk there. Coffee first. I like it here because I can park right next to the coffee shop. Okay, no problem. Okay. It's not bad. Oh, sorry, buddy. No, that's up. It's after coffee.
I love this band.
Which one? Oh, sorry. Yeah. I went to Perth actually for a concert.
Did you?
Yeah. We went to. I couldn't get good tickets here. My kids love it too. So we went to. Yeah.
Nice for music from transcend all generations.
Oh, it's amazing. Yeah, we went.
I saw them when they were like a little band in a tiny little venue in Sydney.
Yeah. I used to live around they used to play at the ETS.
Yeah.
I remember that. I had a house right there, so I used to at night time.
You don't live in Sydney anymore?
No, I do, but I had a house sort of near the university there.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, and then but this time, my daughter got me there. Yeah, we flew to Perth.
See the back?
Of what? Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Beautiful. So for the back racer, good man.
Yeah, no, airbag.
Safety first.
Airbag, yeah.
What were you after, sir?
Just a coffee. Oh, sorry.
What type of coffee?
I just flat white.
Black white?
Flat white. Oh, sorry. Now make a cappuccino.
Antonio, when you're talking about the band, the show that this is a beautiful band. We both saw them when they were tiny at my old university. But his kids also love the same band.
Oh, no, I love it. Actually, I love it more than they do.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
we went to. I got good tickets.
What, cappuccino?
Cappuccino, yes. So we were sitting right in front of the best seats you can imagine. But we didn't realize, me and my wife, we were in mid-50s.
Yeah.
The time difference is 4 hours. So we went there at 10 o'clock. Like the actual concert started around 10 o'clock. It was like 3 o'clock for us. When we heard the laser show right in front of the music pump.
No, definitely.
Obviously, I loved it, but I forgot about the 4 hour difference.
Yeah,
Big
yeah,
difference.
yeah. Yeah, it's a big difference.
For us, it's like 3 in the morning, you know?
Yeah.
And
I did a lot of reporting in Perth, and so I'm from Sydney, and I laughed that whole time, but I was living on Perth time because I finished, technically I'm supposed to be finished work at 5, but then everyone would still be working, so I'd work until 8 o'clock every night because I was on Perth time.
Okay, so you're from Perth?
No, I'm Sydney, but I'm a journalist, so the talent were all in Perth, and so I was working, I would laugh with my colleagues that I was on Perth time because I was working until 8 o'clock every night.
Yeah.
My 5 o'clock was someone's like midday.
Hi, gorgeous.
I used to work in Perth.
What's your
I used to work in Perth. So I knew Perth, but my sister never seen it.
buddy?
Oh, it's beautiful city.
Yeah. I forgot how small it is. So isolated. I used to work for David Johnson. I'm not interested. I'm semi-retired now. But I used to they bought 5 shops there in a warehouse, and I set up all the computers there for them and all that. I used to fly in and out. Like on Thursday I would fly back.
Yeah.
One day I remember I changed my tickets. No one would know that my boss won't know anything. But I changed the ticket to 8 a.m. But almost 2 hours into a flight, the captain goes, "Oh, we're gonna have medical emergency. The only place, the closest place to land is back, even if it's 5 minutes. Back to Perth. Very isolated, no different.
We agree. The hospital system there is
Don't
so
go there, that we
That's
did.
what I was reporting on. It's the hospital system.
Oh, okay, yeah. After how small it is.
Sorry. Thank you. Oh gosh. Thank you very much. That's very kind. Oh, look, what have you got?
What were you after, my friend?
Yeah. A large long black and a large cappuccino, please.
Thank you very much.
Oh, nice to meet you. Glad that you love the same band. What a great band. They just played in Sydney.
Yeah, they are. I think they were yesterday.
Yeah. Yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See you around. Excuse me. Yeah, sorry guys. Oh no, I forgot. I forgot about the speaker. Actually, what can I? No, don't end. No, we still cool. End live stream? No, we're not ending live stream. Just trying to find a spot for it. Oh shit. No, I don't. No, I don't. We're not ending live stream. I don't want to press the wrong thing. Hang on, where can I put this? Actually, you know what? I'll do that. I'm gonna do that. There we go. Let's see. A little bit lower and we'll be fine. Okay, we're on my beloved place. Yeah, there's a nice lady there. Okay, so what was I saying? I don't know how much longer we're live for. Yeah, I was saying about the electrical installations. Yeah, it's kind of, unless you got money, don't bother, because it will cost you a fortune. You will spend. Yeah, as I did mention, my biggest project was $500,000. I believe this sort of job now would be probably another 200-300, and that's just the electrical installment, electrical cabling and program and the labor. The actual equipment was probably another 100, close to. But they did have, yeah, a lot of gear. Living room would have like high blinds, like 8-meter ceilings, so we had like upper blinds, lower blinds, external, internal, 3 lighting zones, floor points, floor zone, like desk lamps, all dimmable. That's one living room. You know, it's lots of window controls. You couldn't get up. You know, to open the windows, you had to. It wasn't easy. I mean, sorry, you had to be integrated into the system, because then you can program many buttons on the wall. When you have this sort of installation, you have to do smart install. You just got no choice, but you have to do it. Yeah, what else? When would you do it? When would you? I had lots of questions. When would I install my smart system? Number one, when your house is valued over $10 million, you just can't do a conventional electrical install. It's just not going to work. Another reason, if you have a lot of equipment installed, I did give example of the bathroom. You know, if you have a bathroom where you have fan in the ceiling, where you have floor heat, where you have heated towel rail, where you have 2 or 3 lighting zones, already the amount of switches you got to put on a wall, it's just forget it. You got no choice but to, you know, you got 3, 4 bathrooms like that. And then otherwise you're gonna, by the time you put all the conventional wiring in the wall, you know, the wall will collapse. Well, maybe it won't collapse, but you know what I mean. Like, it's not gonna work. I mean, you could do a the smart home lookalike type of install where you put all different types of switches, all different types of wireless, but then you have remote controls and you lose those remote controls. It just doesn't work in the long run. It just does not work in the long run. And those systems exist today, they might not exist tomorrow, and then you're stuck. I had clients like that who had, remember this Balmoral, this townhouse where the guy had some sort of European system tucked in by an electrician. The brand doesn't exist no more. He's got big problems, and the only way to do it is to rip everything apart, like all new cabling throughout the ceiling, and forget it. It's a massive problem. But going back to when would I do it? Yeah, when would I do it? I would do it. I would do it if you have, as I mentioned, the bathrooms, living room will have some windows, the blinds, external blinds, internal blinds, dimmable. You want to access the house externally, which means you can be overseas and you can turn the lights on and off, or you can program all off. The whole house goes off. Turns itself off slowly. What else? Yeah. So this would be my answer. About business, electrical business. What sort of electrical business I would went into? Well, at the moment, I think the best people who went, electricians who went into fire systems, because about 10, 15 years ago, it became an essential service. Like, it's backed up by the government, basically. So there are rules you have to stick to. So you got no choice. You have to, test your fire systems. You gotta, it's regular every couple of months. So install a system. I had plenty of opportunities to do that. Then you service and maintain it. Maintenance and service of it for life. For life. You live off the service. Yeah, so you install cheap, but then you have business for the rest of your life. What else? Air conditioning aren't too bad either, because same thing. I had my hands on large apartments, 200 apartments, 180 apartments. You install the air conditioning systems, individual apartments, and then you have service it for the rest of your life. You just build, the more you do, the more, What I was doing, the smart systems aren't like that. It sounds easy, you get service out of it. No, you don't. because it's all, you know, how many smart homes, each project will take 2-3 years, you know, you got a period of 20 years. You can't all of a sudden employ 100 people to do the job. It can be a small 2-3 man install. Even I had rules in place where I was using external labor to do it, and I had to, the way, you know, I had it scheduled, I had control over it, and I could always go back and test. It cost me a little bit more to install, but I was easy to track the problems, if there was any, you know. I could talk about it actually. If someone's starting that sort of business, I do have quite a bit of knowledge on that. How to do it in such a way so when you die or you walk away, someone else will walk in there and will take over the project and will finish it. Because most of my work actually was, to last 10 years, was repairing other electricians' work, and it was based on insurance. Because they took on too much, and then before they knew it, there were problems everywhere. Yeah, I've learned that. Actually, I've learned that from when I did my course in 1995 or 6. There was a guy there who came up with how to do it. Idea. He was teaching others. Obviously, there was a lot of other teachers teaching different ways of doing things, but I kind of latched onto his one. It was fantastic. It was actually worked throughout my, 25, 30 years of installing it. Yeah, it was difficult for me to explain how, but all the repair works I did, the insurance jobs, they weren't like that. If they were done like that, they would have been easy to fix. But because they were done a different way, there's 10 different ways you can install it. The cabling. Beautiful coffee. Yeah, I'm wearing an airbag. On the road, airbag. In the country, I'll do the off-road. Okay, that's going to be interesting. How am I going to do this? Hang on. I'm going to do this like that. Front like this, that like that. Lift up my helmet like this. Actually, no. Sorry. Actually, I didn't tell the lady I was a live streamer. I should have. It wasn't very nice. Actually, I should have. Journalist. I should have talked to her more. Yeah, she kind of. It's a bit of a surprise there. Sorry. This guy's got a good coffee. He's got fantastic coffee actually. It's gonna be my place. Go for a quick walk here. Yeah, we are in Gordon's Bay. So Clovelly's that way, and Gordon Bay's this way. This is where the divers train. Oh, I just realized my cameras needs charging, and what I realized I've got is this. I've actually got a battery bank. So number one will be the phone. Yes, it's charging. I'll give it a few minutes. Oh shit, the water hits all the way here. Ooh. This can get rough, I can tell. No, I can do it. No problema. Okay, so we are in Gordon's Bay. Shit. This looks pretty serious, guys. This looks serious ass. Yeah, I actually got in trouble here. Not in trouble, but I was swimming from one side to the other. I don't know my fingers there. From one side to the other, there and back, there and back, there and back. And yeah, and I got myself in trouble with blue bottles. Gordon Bay here. Ah, there's a bit of a delay here. Oh yeah. Yeah, you can see my finger. Yeah, so I was swimming there and back, there and back. Yeah, and I really, I've realized what, being tangled around blue bottles means. I was in such a shock. I reckon if it happened now, I would have a heart attack. I would die from a heart attack. It just tangled around my neck, and I was just in the middle, like in the middle of the ocean, from sort of one side of the wall to the other. Yeah, my God, that was such a painful experience. You know, being like swimming on the sand and somewhere on your legs, being tangled is one thing, but when you're actually swimming and breathe, you know, taking every kind of breath you need, you know, the freestyle swimming like non-stop, bang, 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 and being tired, exhausted, and all of a sudden being wrapped around with this blue bottle around your neck, mate. The camera system here, and there's some rescuers. Yeah, I'm going to have to swap this around. Yeah, so Coogie's there. I don't know if you can see it. Coogie's straight ahead. Oh, now I can see how much better I got. There is still a bit. Yeah, that's Coogee in the middle of the screen there. Yeah. Let me just grab that. Let me just grab that. Yeah, guys, we're in Gordon's Bay. Gordon's Bay. Walking towards Claw Valley. That's the car park there. Shit, I hope it's not raining. I can feel dribbles of water. That's Claw Valley, guys. have a look what they're up to. Training. Maybe I know some of them. I think the time has come. Thanks, buddy, for the coffee.
Thank you.
Number one.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely number one. I've tried different coffees. Can I just tell you, I'm a live streamer.
Yep.
I do live streaming on the motorbike things, you know.
Yeah.
So that's why sometimes I pop around with a camera, but I'm not facing you. Don't worry about it, you know.
Problems at all?
Yeah. I'm a live streamer, like old motorbike YouTube stuff.
Good on you.
Anyway, thank you for your coffee. Number one.
Thank you very much.
No worries. Thank you. Actually, better charge this a little bit. Sorry, guys. This one's got like a cover. I gotta take it off so I can plug the cable in there. Okay. Is it charging? I hope it is. Yeah, it is. Okay. Let's go. Yeah, so we're at Clovelly. Beautiful spot. I should get a sticker. Live streamer. No, actually probably not. Let's see. Let's see how far we get with this. Where I'm at the end of December. Not the end of December, the beginning of December. Nice. Whoops. Focusing on the wrong stuff. Whoa, look at this tree. Yeah, I was gonna go somewhere else. I was gonna go to Zetland. Yeah, I'm gonna book the beast for service. Might even call tomorrow. I might just go there. I'm not wearing the right shoes. I forgot. I'm just worried that it might start raining any moment. I'm definitely gonna come back live tonight, unless it's raining heavily. look at this dude. Up the hill, electric bike. Faster than me. At least he's paddling is great. Bit of exercise. Well done, mate. Well done. Go for it. Wow, 11,000 kilometers almost. Wow. I have been riding a lot. Jerry. Okay. Progress. Nice. I've been live, but any more than 2 hours is probably not a good idea. But anyway, let's see. Garden Street. I can hardly see anything on it. Go past. Okay, right, yeah, I'm pretty sure this is the one. This one here, that's nice. Very nice. I'm gonna go back live around 6 o'clock, unless it rains really bad. Anyway, I'm gonna call this live. I'm gonna keep them all until I get monetized. I will keep the lives because people do watch it a lot. But what I want to say is I'm gonna call it a C-Bus install. Smart home installs, okay? If someone wants to know something about the installation of smart systems. Actually, I should probably talk more. I really do have a lot of knowledge when it comes to that. Oh, not, you know. I did employ a lot of people. But, you know, it all came from me. At the end of it, the buck stays with me. The problem stayed with me, so yeah. If I was starting business now, yeah, I would go into something which will give you more service work afterwards. Smart homes, there's just not enough time in the world time in your life to actually make money. Unless you take it to the next generation. Well, I don't want my kids to go through that. Businesses, one day I was a millionaire, the next day I was broke. Like this for 30 years. Nah. There's plenty of businesses you can go into these days. The world being so exposed, you got exposure through internet, through the smart, through the social media. There's so many things you can do. But as far as the tradie, being an electrician, probably the best trade there is. There's nothing better than that. I don't think. There's plenty of specialties you can move into. I've started my work in installing switchboards. I remember the main distribution boards back then. There was no smart systems, no CBus, so they used to build big switchboards where they did a lot of contactors and all, and connect everything together. It was just when I started my apprenticeship in 1987. It was a factory. The best part of that was blowing up switchboard. They used to test the enclosures. So they used to build them and then explode them. I don't know how they did it actually. I never really thought of it how they did it. But they must have created some sort of a short circuit based on the size of the load being blown up. Anyway, but they tested and they had a sticker, tested, designed, and then they went ahead and built them. As you can imagine, back then, a switchboard which controlled, let's say, Davy Jones, the shop in the city, one of those two, Elizabeth Street and Market Street, so one of those stores, it's a massive store. So the size of that control board, I can't even think of the size compared to room they used to take. Oh, let's say 2 containers, the big ones. Went on for months and months to pre-wire things like that. Now a computer would do it all. Yeah, so that's how I started. Then this guy had a gun. What the hell? Next to jail. Strange. And then so I did that for a while, maybe 2 years, year and a half, traveling to a factory every morning. And then the company collapsed, but there was some people from the company opened up their own company doing work installations for Davy Jones, and they took me with them, and the rest was history. I spent 15 around Australia and owning different types of mainly Westfield shopping centres, building all new shops, and anyway, it would take me 10 hours to do. But I did electrical, and then after a couple of years I got bored of it. I was like, I can't do this anymore. So I went into computer cabling, like optical fibers and Cat 6, Cat 5, well, Cat 5 back then. All cash registers, all the computers, everything around Cat 5. Davy Jones spent a lot of money on data, almost as much as banks did. They didn't. Yeah, they had fantastic computer rooms, and yeah, a long story there too. But I did that for a few years. Yeah, well, back then there was a different field. People who used to work for telecom, they used to kind of take over that type of that side of electrical installs, like the data and the optical fiber cabling on the phone wire. They took over that field. It was a separate to electrical, but then it became, for a couple of years later, it became part of the electrical trade. You know, why bother having another trade calling data installers or whatever they used to call themselves, and it can become a part of the electrical. Yeah, so I moved into that. I was doing that for maybe 5, 6 years, 7 years. And then towards the end, I started installing smart systems. And then early 2000, I went on my own Okay, it looks pretty rough, the weather. I don't want to be caught in the rain. I can see it. Yeah, I got my roof jumper. So everyone's kind of noticing it because they've been on a concert last night. I don't like it. I prefer when nobody knew who they were. Yeah, the house was for sale. Finally got sold, but they're still not doing anything with it. They probably had like a illegal building. Something was built there illegally. So now to go to the council, they want them to demolish the house. That's probably going to be the easiest way to fix that. Things were done there illegally, not certified. I can almost guarantee you that's what happened there. Okay, we're at La Provis now. Lapa. Yeah, but the weather doesn't look good. The weather doesn't look good. Just gonna go for a quick walk around, unplug that. Do you see what I see? Well, you can still hear me. 3 o'clock. Half minute time has come.